you click. Oh no. Wait, exploded. So what do you guys think is happening? Why do you guys think this happened? It exploded.
They just detached from the rock. I don't know what just happened. They just died.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is actually, it was live from CNN. And this space shuttle actually called the Challenger. It was on its way out, and 73 seconds after liftoff, it just ended tragically. So it just, and it was said because there was rubber rings which had been designed to separate sections of the rocket booster, and they had failed due to cold temperatures in the morning of the launch. So the cold temperatures, I guess, it didn't heat up the right way or something, and it caused it to explode 73 seconds after liftoff. And this happened on January 28, 1986. And 7 astronauts lost their lives in this tragic event. So after the incident, NASA refrained. It refrained from sending astronauts into space for more than 2 years. So you guys, you're going to get into small groups. Like you two and you three. And I was going to have you guys research different shuttles or different important people from space and NASA. But instead I'm going to give you these sheets, and you could just read through them and highlight the important information. This one doesn't have. Here. You can use a crayon, a marker, just whatever to underline. So read through this.
Are these all the same thing? Are they connected? Or what are we doing?
No, you're just like reading information about this person.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you have an astronaut, you're going to read information about him, and then you're going to just highlight important stuff or what you think is important, and then make sure you understand what you're reading, because you're going to ask your group, you're going to come up to the class and tell us what you learned.
Okay.
Okay? So just highlight information about that.
I do.
You can do two.
So I do two, like these two.
Yeah. Okay, or they could do it as like a group. So y'all can talk about them as a group.
Oops.
you guys are listening to each other, what pictures?
I got the Apollo 11.
Hey,
I
I'll say
just
she.
found out where the eagle has landed comes from.
I think that's from the
That's
other
from
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the lunar module,
Born,
eagle.
he was born in August 2. Oh, okay, sorry. I exited him.
Okay, good. That important information.
Took 3 years.
To get the salary. Whoa, I got the best one. First man
Who's
on
that
the
new?
moon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, y'all can do it together, so y'all can present like all four of these together, you know.
Okay.
the directions.
What did you learn about your?
Oh, well, I learned William. Oh, wow.
So over 3 years?
And,
So share your information, yeah, share your information so that way whenever y'all present it together.
he started liking astronomy,
Okay.
and his interest grew. So he rented a small telescope.
And the Hubble telescope. The Vostok K was a rocket used by the Soviet Union, and it made its first flight on December 22nd, 1960. Now, for the Hubble telescope, approval was given in 1969.
And he compiled like the laboratory.
2,500 celestial objects that is still in use today. To plan on the plan that would eventually become the Hubble. So basically, it was not named the Hubble telescope. It was named the Large Space Telescope.
He invented,
Original.
food telescope.
It was named the Hubble
And it allowed him to observe and describe the moons of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn, the phases of Venus, and sunspots, and the rugged lunar surface.
Okay, so I had Sputnik, and it was first launched on October 4th, 1957, making it the world's first artificial satellite. And it's the size of a beach ball, so it's little. And then in 90 minutes, took about 98 minutes to orbit around the Earth. Okay, and then it ushered in new political, military, technological, and scientific developments. And so the best for last was Neil Armstrong, and he was born in Ohio
No, he's from
on
Russia.
August 5th, 1930. He began his career in NASA. Yeah, he was an engineer, test pilot, and astronaut, and then he was the first man to walk on the moon.
So mine
On the
was
moon?
Okay,
Apollo.
now what you're gonna do, you talked about it with your groups, and then now you're gonna present it to the opposite group. So like, you three can present about your shuttles and people, and then you two talk about your shuttles and people today.
Okay.
So who wants to start with?
I'll start.
Yes, I can start.
Okay, so mine was the Apollo 11, and it took off on July 16th, and it landed on July 24th. It was the shuttle that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin rode, and they, the first men on the moon. The whole "Eagle has landed" phrase comes from that, whenever the Eagle craft began its descent on the lunar surface. It landed in the Pacific Ocean, and that's it.
Good.
I had Voyager. Its purpose was to study the outer planets. It took off on September 5th, 1977, and it had a bunch of cameras and sensors to record what it was seeing. The first stop it made was Jupiter, and it took some pictures, and then it went to Saturn, but it took 3 years from the time it took off to make it to Saturn. It took off September 5th, 1977, but it didn't reach Saturn until November 12th, 1980.
I have the Hubble telescope, and the Hubble telescope was, Congress approved funding for this telescope in 1977. It was named after Edwin Hubble, which is an American astronomer. And I have the Vostok K rocket, which was a rocket used by the Soviet Union, and it made its first flight on December 22nd, 1960 into space. That was 3 weeks after the retirement of the Vostok L, which is like, I guess they come in families. So the Vostok K made its return 3 weeks after the previous rocket made it. And the third stage engine failed for the Vostok K for 425 seconds after launch, and the payload failed to reach orbit. So the spacecraft was then recovered after landing, and it says here 2 dogs aboard the spacecraft survived the flight.
Oh, wow. How many?
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
The dog, you had one.
Yeah. Well, I have Challenger, which is the video we saw.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to do that one, and then you can just give like 3 about each one of those.
This one's Yuri Gagarin. He was from Russia. He was the first person to successfully go into space. And prior to the first flight, the Soviets sent a prototype of his spaceship along with a life-size dummy into space, I guess, to see if it would work. And then once they had the successes and that it was ready, they put him on board. And then this is Sally Ride. She was from California. She went to Stanford and studied physics. There wasn't a lot of information on her. That was pretty much it on that one.
I think it's because
Oh.
yeah.
I found,
You got the rest of Sally
Yeah.
over there.
Okay, thank you, let's stop for this. Thank you. You guys turn.
Okay, I have Galileo, whatever. He was born in Pisa. He actually went to University of Pisa to study medicine. And he invented an improved telescope that let him observe and describe the moons of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn, the phases of Venus, and sunspots, and the rugged lunar surface. Okay, then I had William Herschel. He was born in Germany. He discovered the planet Uranus and several moons around other gas giants. He also compiled a catalog of 2,500 celestial objects that is still in use today.
okay.
Interesting.
So I had Sputnik, and it was the first satellite to have ever went to space. And it was launched on October 4th, 1957. It was the size of a beach ball, so it was not that big. You would think it would be big, right? So it took 98 minutes to orbit all around the Earth, and this led a new technological, military, and political scientific developments. So then the best for last was Neil Armstrong. So he was born August 5th, 1930. So over 17 years he was an engineer, test pilot, and astronaut who worked for NASA, and he was the first man on Earth to walk on the moon, and on the Apollo 11. No, Apollo 11. Yeah.
Good. Good job. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, for example, I talked about the Challenger, so I have a picture of the Challenger here. And I have the name. So these two, we're gonna match them together. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is you're gonna match up the ones that they presented, and you're gonna match up the ones that they presented to see how well you guys were paying
Oh my
attention.
gosh, okay.
So, you guys can come up here. And then you guys can come up here. And y'all have to do this.
This was Sputnik.
That's
Neil
Armstrong.
And then you put it on the board.
This is Galileo
Yeah.
Galileo.
Galileo.
There you go. What she said.
Oh, we put it on the board?
Yeah, that's what you put on the board.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's William Herschel.
All right.
Ooh.
Take.
Wait, was it ours? Was this
Nope.
ours?
That was ours.
That's one. They presented this one, so you have to match
Oh,
it to this
oh.
one.
I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll wait.
Which one do you have?
I have the Hubble telescope.
So I guess this is that.
So that one's left over, so that one would have to be lost, okay.
No. That's all I need. I only need one.
Okay, good job. Now we're just gonna check and make sure that we named them all correctly with the correct picture. So this one would be Moscow K. Good job. Y'all got that one. This one is, what is this one? The Hubble telescope. Good job. This is the Challenger, the one that I presented about. This is Yuri Gagarin. Good job. Sally Ride. Yeah, the Voyager, good job. Neil Armstrong, got that one right. And Sputnik, good job. And William Herschel, got that one right too. And Galileo. And last but not least, Apollo 11. So good job, you guys got them all right. Give yourself a hand.